Hey everybody, I'm Cailen Ascher and welcome to the Clarity Confessions. This is the place where entrepreneurs dish on their biggest secrets and their biz building tips. And today we are lucky to be joined by Jessica Durivage of Where Is My Guru. She is the founder, as I said, of Where Is My Guru. It's an intimate, in-person, and virtual learning center for spiritual, personal, and professional development. She works with small businesses and individuals in the wellness, spa, and yoga industries, offering an extensive portfolio of services, including mentoring, strategic marketing and visioning, and training development. She is known through her interview style, yoga teaching, and writing for her mindful, practical, and humorous approach to life and practice. Her writing has been published in Mantra Yoga and Health Magazine, Origin Magazine, Rebel Society, and Elephant Journal. Her greatest accomplishments, I can't get it out, girl, are her amazing children. And I totally agree that my daughter is the light of my life. So I'm so happy, Jessica, that you're here with us. And before we dive into the rapid fire question round, I'd love to just hear from you a little bit more about what you're doing out there in the world.
Well, like you, hi everyone. Thank you so much for having me. And like you, I am raising I have a 23-month-old right now. He'll be 2 and very soon. Mm-hmm. So I guess that's like really where my focus is. And as I've been emerging from the mama cocoon, Where's My Guru's been kind of like my heartbeat for many, many years, and it's taken on several different faces. It's kind of like Madonna. We keep reinventing it, and we are launching at the end of this month a virtual online learning center. So we're kind of taking all of the different faces of what Where's My Guru's been. Maybe we'll get into it during the interview and share a little bit about the history. But but you'll be able to take courses online. Anywhere from like 1-month meetups to 6-week intensives to weekend long workshops. So it's really going to be amazing. We're working with phenomenal teachers, going to be creating just really, really impactful content that is life-changing. We just wrapped up a 6-week course with the wonderful Katie Silcox about Ayurveda and women's health. And so just really, really excited to have another level of offering to the community. And so that's really what I'm super duper focused on right now.
That's awesome. I love that. And we'll dive into that more. But first, as kind of like an icebreaker, I like to do the clarity confession questions. They're kind of rapid fire. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Is your business aligned with your purpose?
Yes.
Describe your purpose in 10 words or less.
Service to my community, and an offering that feels authentic and real and aligns with my values in my life.
Awesome. So when did you find your purposeful business?
About 9 months ago.
Yeah, right? And how did you find it? Do you remember?
I found value in myself. So finding my purposeful business came when I realized that I needed to value myself first. I had business for a long time before then, but it didn't feel purposeful. And now that I value myself, I feel purpose-driven. That's
awesome. And so did you have like an aha moment? Do you remember where you were when it kind of like hit you?
It wasn't an aha moment. It was definitely, it was a personal thing that happened in my life that caused me to go, I think this could be really where the secret is. And then I did like 7 months of counseling, and I clarified that that's really what it was.
Yeah. That's always good. Sometimes you need outsider perspective to kind of like guide you through. Okay, so there's 3 more. What is the best thing about being an entrepreneur, in your opinion?
My creative freedom, my personal time.
Nice. And what is the worst thing about being an entrepreneur?
My creative freedom and my personal time. No, yeah. Just right now I'm really in a best of, I think that I'm really in a best of phase, and the worst of are challenges that I want to overcome.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
All right, the last one. If you can manage it, what is one word that sums up your life's purpose?
Service.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Okay, so I I'd love to, kind of dive into some maybe stories, advice, wisdom that you have to offer. And I think an interesting way to do that is to ask you, and I know, like you said, you really feel like you found your purposeful business in the last 9 months, but I know you've been working Where Is My Guru for a long time now. So when you first got started in this online arena of being an entrepreneur, what did your first 6 months, year look like? Because I think we're always curious about, like, what does it really look like when you first start your business?
Well, it really looks like blogging and writing about curtains. Like you read my bio and it's like yoga, wellness, and that's where my heart is. And when I got started, I was willing to do anything. So I worked for did social media and blog for all sorts of different businesses while I was, tinkering with Where's My Guru. Where's My Guru used to be a blog and an online radio show, kind of like, the Clarity Confessions, and we did a live radio show. And so I was doing that just because I loved it. And then I made money over here writing about literally like the different ways you can tie back curtains. And so that over time, I really started to feel like the separation. At first that creative freedom in my personal time, I was accomplishing that. I was seeing that I could work from anywhere. I was seeing that my time was my own. And that felt very wonderful. So it was really exciting, but I was willing to do anything. I was willing to work. I've worked for makeup artists. I've worked for health coaches. Probably the farthest away really was the interior designer. But, I have managed to stay, in the wellness yoga world, but I was willing to do anything. So the first probably 5 years of it was more like that, willing to do anything.
Yeah. And I think that's a good lesson for people to hear, because I think there's this sense that, you're going to leave your current work, or if you're fresh out of college, just like dive into this business and you're going to be making money doing exactly what you love.
Exactly.
And the thing is that it's often separate. You're making money and you're doing what you love, but they're not necessarily from the same place at first. And it's really okay to have a bridge job. I mean, for you, yours was kind of related in the writing arena, but I know a lot of people who bartend and wait tables or work at a little shop, or, are a VA for somebody else who's maybe in the industry and they're making contacts that way. And I think it's really refreshing to hear people just honestly say, the first 5 years of my business looked like me working for some people that weren't maybe a perfect fit, but a good enough fit that the money was coming in and you were able to keep your passion projects going until they could step into the forefront as they are doing now.
Absolutely. And, to back up even a little further, the way that I even got into social media was my now husband, then boyfriend, and I started a nonprofit organization. Before that, I was in corporate America. So I was in corporate America managing spas for the Marriott for 6 years. I managed 6 spas all in the Southeast, and did not want to do it anymore. And I really, I use that word service. You'll see it coming up, and I just felt like I wanted to feel like I was offering more
making a difference.
than what I was currently doing. And I quit and we started this nonprofit, founded this nonprofit. And that's just when social media was really booming. It's when being an online entrepreneur was really like, you could really begin to people still weren't really making a living at it, but you were finding like a different kind of freedom in this new realm of communication and interaction. And so I learned all of the social media because I wasn't making any money running a nonprofit. And I was like, oh, cool, I can put my event on Facebook. I can write a blog and market everything. I can send newsletters for free. Like all of these things were really, just really kind of firing and doing really well. And then people noticed what I was doing. And that's how it all sort of started. People were like, Jessica is doing all the social media. Like, I don't even know. It was before businesses were on Facebook or anything like that. So people started coming to me for help and advice through that. And, and that kind of started the whole path.
That's always a good way to find things. It's like, what do people keep asking my advice about? It's like, maybe I should build that into what I'm doing, if it's something you enjoy. I mean, that's a great way to kind of find untapped markets where people need you.
Absolutely.
So I think an area that you have kind of I don't know if I want to say excelled in or if you'd say excelled in, but it's building a business around your life and with life in mind. And I think there's a lot of advice out there that like you have to work 24/7, nose to the grindstone, up till 11 at night, wake up at 4 in the morning to build your business and get it off the ground. And I personally don't choose to subscribe to that. I want to build my business my way and have a life while I'm building it, especially now that I have a daughter. And so I'd love to hear from you just how you've managed to find that harmony between work and life, but still continue to grow your business. It's getting bigger and better.
Well, I go to the same church as you. I don't, what is it? I don't live to work.
Yeah.
I work to live. Is that right? Did I say that right? I think I work to live.
You work to live. You work to have the lifestyle you want. Yeah.
I used to work 24/7, and my husband and I really, like, we're both entrepreneurs. We both have our own businesses. So we, and it never ended. And I would just take all the work that I could. And finally I just, there's actually a concept called slow living that I'm really, if you Google it, you'll find all sorts of great stuff. And it's very similar to mindful living, but it's just like, I started removing words like busy from my vocabulary, and this was before I had my son, and it was still very challenging because I found I was still moving at that fast pace, but I felt this inner calling and this inner desire to just, like, I wanted to think more about the quality of what I was doing than the quantity of how much I was doing it.
Yeah.
And then after I had my son, kids do change everything, and if you don't have children, like, sometimes I think, if I didn't have Ellis, I might be a little farther faster in my business, but I made some very conscious choices to stay home with him and wanted to be present for those first 2 years of his life. And in order to do that, I kind of realized, like, hey, I'm not Superwoman.
Yeah.
There's only a certain number of hours during the day. So if I'm going to put more energy here, I'm going to have to take away from over here.
Yeah.
And and so I kind of like got a little bit, and I'm not very logical, but having a child like brought things, I got like logical and linear a little bit more about looking at how my day was structured and how I managed my time. So I let it go. I let Where's My Guru go. At that point, I did not have a business model that was really bringing in a whole lot of income. I slowed down my social media clients quite a bit, and I just allowed it. Having a child, again, like, keeps you in the moment. Time slows down. I allowed for each day to unfold like it would, and I let go of expectation and wanting an outcome, and I was, my husband and I was really lucky that I could do that for about 15 months. And then as I started kind of revving back up again, I was a bit more conscious about what I wanted to put. If I have 2 hours to work today and that's it, I want to work on something that's really going to fuel me, and I think is going to move me closer to where I want to be. I could sit for 8 hours and feel like I was doing a lot, but I think I was spinning. I was, moving in circles a lot of the time. So I just got very clear about what it is I wanted to do and the people that I wanted to work with. And if you are an entrepreneur, you're creative. And so when I'm not working, if I'm with my son or if I'm watching a movie, like, there's always kind of something in the back of my brain. If you're an idea person,
you can't turn it off.
Yeah, you can't turn it off. And that's, that was really wonderful. And I'm a yoga teacher and I teach meditation. And so my spiritual practice helps me to find time to really shut down. But I wish I could put my finger on it and say, but I had a willingness. Like, I had a willingness to slow down, and I had a willingness to relax. I have a quote on my desk, and it says, relax into the mystery, or leave room for mystery. Leave room for mystery. And it's one of those Danielle Laporte truth bombs, but I think Mary Oliver may have said it as well. But and I was just like, if I'm going to continue to try to control everything, then I'm never going to know what else is out there. And so it was a practice. It was a practice in willingness to leave room for what else was out there. And when I needed to shut it down, when your son is sick, when it's time to play, it's 8 p.m. but you've been up since 4 and you're exhausted, and normally you might go hit the computer for another 4 hours. It's saying, you know what, I'm going to let it go. And now I've somehow, over doing this and practicing this for many, many months, I'm working like a 4 or 5 hour day, 3 or 4 days a week, and my business is growing and it's moving forward. But I'm very, very clear. I don't waste time on social media. It's huge time suck, especially for us online social media people.
Yes.
I don't waste time on it. I've asked for help. I have like four people working with me, and just helping in little areas over here, little areas over there. I might be sacrificing some financial freedom in that, but I still have my time. And we're all feeling like we're growing the business together.
Nice.
There's like definitely, I used to feel like I needed to do everything. And now I'm like, I don't want to really worry about the accounting, so I'm going to do this over here. I'm not very good with design, so I'm working with a graphic designer. Mm-hmm. I haven't been, I'm not that great with, I'm a great visionary, and I'm a great strategic planner, and I'm great at seeing the big picture and holding that focus. And I think that really recognizing my strengths and focusing on my strengths and pulling the right people in to do the things that I either don't want to do or I have identified as one of my weaknesses.
Yeah.
It's really, has really been helpful. I know that's a long answer, but it's not something that happens overnight. Nobody's going to come with a plane and give you the answer on how to manage your time in the sky. It's a daily practice at finding balance.
It is. And it comes, like you said, I think the biggest lesson is that it comes from a willingness. It's not going to just suddenly happen for you. If you're used to working super long days, when you get more successful, you're only going to get busier. There's only going to be more things to do, more opportunities that come your way. And if you don't kind of make a practice now and a habit now of making time for your life and your family and your friends and the things you enjoy doing that replenish you as a human being, it's only going to get harder to find that time. Now is the time to really define what a workday looks like for you. And even though we love our work as entrepreneurs, we do need time away from it. We need time to shut the computer, to have a human conversation with someone rather than typing and, watching YouTube videos or whatever it is that we're doing all day. And we need to create space for living. And I think, like you said, it was a long answer, but it's your truth. It's what you're living now. And I think there's a lot of takeaways that people can glean from that, just in finding your strengths, outsourcing what you can. And you might not have the money to outsource, but maybe that means asking your mom, sister, or best friend to watch your kid, or asking your social media savvy friend to help you set up some kind of automatic posting system using, one of those online tools. It doesn't mean you have to be paying money out, but you just might need to kind of like tap your resources that are there.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it is a daily practice. If you practice yoga or, any kind of spiritual practice, or if you want to eat healthy, you have to eat healthy every day, and then, or I say, there's Felicia Tomasco, she talks a lot about the 80-20 rule. Yeah. And, it's just like if 80% of the time you're eating healthy, you're thinking about, that balance thing is in the back of your mind, and, or you're 80% of the time you're doing your yoga practice or whatever, it's not about like, overachieving and getting down on yourself when you have a day where you're just like, I can't open the computer. All I want to do is eat 3 pieces of pizza like I did last night because I'm in New York right now. And, it's not about beating yourself up, but because you're building that. In yoga, we call ojas, like kind of like the lubrication, like, so that you're not like metal on metal when you don't do good. You're not like screeching. You kind of feel like, well, I've got a good foundation here, I feel good. I feel like I'm headed in the right direction. I know tomorrow it's not going to be hard for me to get right back on the train and, whatever that is. And I will say this to entrepreneurs because I would say that most of us are overachievers. Yeah. And that overachievement sometimes comes from an inner voice of fear of disappointment or needing to be good enough. Yeah. And so that cultivating an inner voice that is very kind to yourself has been very helpful for me too, and forgiving as well. For where I thought I would be or could be or should be. and really getting grounded in the present moment. So, so that's all that counseling too. It's really helpful.
Yeah. Yeah, we all need a mentor. We need somebody there to kind of like set us straight sometimes. That is so true. So if you can, give us a little preview of what the future holds for you and Where is My Guru?
We are, like I said, we just launched our very first course this summer, did a 6-week online course, and it was wonderful. And we're getting ready to launch about 8-course program schedule through 2015 and the first half of 2016, working with about a half a dozen instructors, teachers, authors. There's a lot of online learning happening, out there right now. It seems like everybody is doing it, which is wonderful. I think it's a great, especially for moms and entrepreneurs, and, you can learn anywhere. And one of the things that has always been very important to me is creating like that old-fashioned handshake feeling through the radio show or the interviews that I do, building relationships, creating community. And so that's kind of the thread that we are going to be weaving throughout all of these courses, is that there's so many ways to interact and integrate the human 5 senses experience even online.
Awesome.
So for example, with the first course, we created these beautiful boxes and mailed boxes to everybody that was doing it first. Everybody got this beautiful box with tea and a mala and incense and oils, Ayurvedic course, and so they got 2 different kinds of oils. So different, just trying to think outside the box as to where online learning will be in 3 to 4 years and what people need, creating a live element. So it's not just plug and play. There's a almost like an accountability, show up. You show up to your Tuesday night yoga class, show up to the lecture and see your community and interact with the teacher. But we're thinking big, we are going to have everything from a weekend course to monthly subscriptions with different teachers to get different offerings, to a year-long mastery program where you can get certified as an Ayurvedic health practitioner. So, we're really thinking very big. It's very exciting.
That's awesome. And I know you mentioned before we actually jumped on the call, that you have a little giveaway, perhaps?
Yes, absolutely. Cool. So we're going to be putting our course program schedule out at the end of this month, and I would love to offer a seat in one of our courses that we announce to anybody. However you want to do the giveaway is totally cool with me. Just let me know, and then you can look over all the courses we're going to be offering through next May. So basically September of this year through May next year, and let me know what course you'd like to join, and we would be happy to give you a seat.
Cool. That's awesome. I think probably the best way to do it for anyone that's interested, and the courses sound amazing, so I think you guys should all jump on this. I'll start a post in the Facebook group, and everyone just comment with their favorite takeaway from today's teaching, and we'll pick somebody. We'll pick a winner, and you guys can get access to one of the amazing programs that Jess is putting together.
Cool.
And I think we'll probably wrap it up. We're reaching the 25-minute mark, and I like to keep these short and sweet, but I just remind people where they can find you online so they can check out what you're up to.
Definitely. So where'smyguru.com, and there's a place right on the homepage where you can sign up for the newsletter, so you can receive all of the information about the courses and learn about our teachers. And also our Facebook page, if you sign up, you go on our Facebook page, I believe there's an app, because I have somebody actually doing all of that for me now. And you can get a free meditation if you sign up, if you like the page, and you can sign up to get a free loving kindness meditation, which would be great for you as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Do this loving kindness meditation every day. So those are, there's a million platforms, right? But I'm also let's just hone in on a couple and not make it so hard for everyone to find me in 17 different places. Just come and find me on my website, find me on Facebook, and we're good.
Nice. That sounds good. And you guys, if you're interested in getting access to her course, head on over to the Purpose Driven Entrepreneurs Facebook group and leave your comment below the post. And thank you, as always, for joining me for the Clarity Confessions. Thank you, Jessica, for being here, and we'll see you next time. Take care.
Thank you so much.